All right, guys, welcome. So I wanted to post a video about the Supernow motor and transmission mounts for the FC. Just to give you a little bit of hindsight, I am currently running the Himny Racing motor and transmission mounts. They're poly, absolutely no issues. Pretty much, I was bored and looking through things on Right Hand Drive Japan, and I noticed that on the Supernow transmission mounts, it comes with these two, but it also comes with these two, which go onto the saddle. And that was honestly the biggest selling point, and I wanted a match, so I bought the motor mounts. So I'll start with the motor mounts. So the motor mounts are about 98 bucks. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a massive bushing. It's made out of aluminum, though I don't know what this particular Allen is for, but I'll play with it later. Now, the transmission mounts, they're about 142 bucks. These two, you're pretty much familiar with it, I hope. They go between the saddle, which is right here, and then this other piece. So you pretty much just bolt it on both sides, make sure everything's aligned. Pretty straightforward. But it's these two that there's no documentation on, except for like maybe one photo on Right Hand Drive Japan. So I'm looking at the saddle, and mind you, these are kind of hard to come by nowadays. So I have a brand new one on the car right now. This is just an extra one I had. So there's normally a rubber bushing in here, which I already took out. But if I grab this bushing right here, it doesn't exactly slide in. Pressing it looks like it'll damage both this and the bushing. And kind of looking at the very, very limited photo on Right Hand Drive Japan, this lip right here isn't on the photo. So I'm guessing it was cut out. And looking at the details of this, there's like a little crevice here and here. So I'm guessing they pretty much just cut it out or pried it out. So I'm gonna fiddle with that. I'm hoping this video helps somebody, especially if they ended up buying these transmission mounts, so that they're not left in the dark when they get them and they're like, what the hell, it doesn't fit. So I'm gonna pretty much mess with this extra one, press in these bushings, and let you know how it goes. All right, guys, so I got that metal piece out. Looks like I was right. So I ended up chiseling that little crevice on both sides, and I went through the back side and I just started hammering it, and it broke into two pieces. I don't know where the other piece is at, so sorry about that. But yeah, now it looks like the bushing is going to go in. I'm just going to clean this up, maybe with some sandpaper, and then press in the bushing. All right, so I went right along and installed 3 of the 4 bushings. So these two are what most people are familiar with. They're the same style as the OEM transmission mounts and like the poly ones you see in the market. Here's one of the 2 bushings that I wanted to touch more bases on. So initially I thought you had to press these, but you actually don't. They pretty much slide right on. So here is the bushing. Bam. If we're looking at this right now, it's the equivalent of you laying on your back facing up at the transmission. There's going to be like a rubber OEM washer that goes on first. Then you have the bolt, tighten the bolt, torque it down. And then if you're not familiar with how the saddle works on the FC transmission, you have 4 holes, 2 here and 2 here. Those bolt to the transmission. And then you have on the outer side 2 here and 2 here, and they bolt to the chassis. And pretty much a pretty easy install. I would say if you're also going to do the motor mounts, those are the trickier ones, in particular the driver side. So the way the motor mounts sit on the FC, they're not exactly symmetrical on the subframe. So the driver side is just a little trickier. You're gonna have to get the motor up. But yeah, I pretty much wanted to make more of an emphasis on these 2 bushings. And if you're on the fence about buying them, I like them. They look really good and pretty straightforward. A little bit of work just to get that OEM bushing out, but yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, but hope this helps somebody out there. Laters.